Can you want to hear me? Awesome, awesome. GM, everyone. How is everyone doing in this eventful day? All good? Jindo, Suro, Funcracker, Zvikul, Udder, Sekalane, Emperor, Crash, Shiftblade. You guys doing well? I hope you all are. Today has been an intense day, both on Star Atlas and in the markets. Lots of bug fixing going on. I see Jones coming. He'll be with us in a moment. Meanwhile, I am here drinking my water. What you guys having for the brew today? Good shift blade, doing Iris work. GM and DR. I'll ask Sage to provide us a feature log of everything that we have been doing in terms of bug fixing and quality of life stuff. There's been a lot going on. Good, good. Captain, welcome, my friend. Hmm. Looking good, Jindo. And talking about Star Atlas games, GM John, how are you doing, my friend?
Hi, doing well. How are you?
Oh, good.
Nice.
Oh,
Just
good
getting
over here.
situated here.
Good, 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 good. As I was saying, talking about Star Atlas games, no more water tank. Yes,
Oh,
Jindo, it was a heavy loss for all of us.
it's here. They're still in a bucket on the floor. So
You still didn't move them?
I haven't moved them yet. Yeah. So.
They didn't die?
Jindo, do you need some fish? No, they haven't
Jeez,
died. They're doing just fine. Apparently.
crazy.
Yeah, wild.
What I was going to say, yes, we have a guest today on this brew, a legend of this community, who is also going to talk about a very weighted Stratos game he has been building in the shadows, and we'll let him on the stage very soon to talk about his latest developments. He should have been busy on all fronts of his life. So I'm super excited to hear what he's cooking and what he'll bring to us today. But before we get to that, I wanted to do a little uh, walkthrough on everything that we have been building so far this week. Sage is compiling everything, but we have been busy. We have been fixing stuff. We added lots of quality of life improvements to the game as well. Now we have the home button. We have hotkeys that you guys can add to the game. We are able to close screens by clicking outside of them and many other cool stuff. Also, I have 20 different fixes on the claim stake UI stuff on prod right now. So as soon as they go live, we might see some cool stuff. Um, and yeah, I am just waiting for Sage to give me the report. And while Sage does that, I guess, Emperor, it would be a good moment for you to come up stage, my friend, and give everyone uh, some updates on what you're doing.
Yeah, can you hear me this week? Looks like
Yes,
it.
we hear you.
Yep.
We hear just fine.
Sorry about that. 2 weeks ago, I was having technical difficulties. No, we just wanted to give two quick updates on the DAO. We had three people self-nominate, myself, Jith, and Erther. So that's three. We would, really like five, but we'll definitely be able to do everything with three. It puts a little more pressure on us, but that's okay. We can all handle it. So three people applied, and we did decide to leave the self-nominations open for the next 2 weeks during the campaign period. There's not much campaigning that's gonna need to happen with us, but that is kind of a change from the norm. We decided to leave it open. So just wanted to put that out there and let people know. You can still apply if you feel led to be on the council. So that's kind of our quick update.
Yeah, guys. Um, make sure you apply. Council is super important work. If you have the disposal to do this, you totally should apply. It really helps Star Atlas, Jindo, Jiff Blade. They are working their asses off. They need help. Star Atlas needs your support. So, yes, having 5 people is a lot better for sure.
Jindo.
Jindo. Thanks, Jindo.
Yeah, and just so the folks know too, this has been in the DAO chat. I did personally reach out to 6 of the active guilds that are in the Star Atlas Discord. I reached out to their leadership and reached out to a few people individually. So it's not for lack of trying that that we don't have quite as few nominations as we would like, but we're giving it our best.
No, for sure. We all know this, and we thank you for your service. It is a hard time to be involved in crypto, in gaming overall. I can understand people's worries. It is
Yep.
part of the job. It's part of the cycle. But as things are heating up here in the C4 PTR and overall game development, I foresee that things will start picking up again in Star Atlas.
Yep.
And
We know it will. C4 and it's going to be great. We're going to do great things. So.
we are all working our best to make sure this is the reality. Can you share, please, Emperor, the links again for people to apply here in the chat?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm on mobile right now, but I'll do it in the chat here in a second. So. And
No
Jith, I think you're in here. Can you link that Discord announcement? There's 2 links. One of them is broken for some people. Both links work for some people. Both links don't work for some people. So if you do want to apply, we have found that if you're on like Chrome or Brave or something, one of the Chrome browsers, then you'll be able to open it. But if anyone can't access them, just hit us up and in the DAO chat, and we can help you work through it.
Awesome.
Cool.
Very.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate it.
And I think
Mm.
next week we're going to have the on the brew the candidates. Hopefully, yeah. I think Erther, you're here right now, so us 3 will be able to make it. But next week we will have the candidates on to give a little spiel. We haven't worked through those details on exactly what that's going to look like, but tune in next week for the candidates.
Awesome. Very
Cool.
important.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Yep. Bye.
Yep. Oh, I got Sage. Change logs. Let me drop them here in the chat so you guys can see it. It looks ugly like this. Hold on.
Need my glasses for that. It's tiny.
Sorry. It would be very badly formatted if I tried to just copy and paste.
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing when your daily bug list is so big that you need glasses to read it because the text is so
Yeah,
small.
there are 2 prints actually. So yeah, we have been working hard. Things are
I'm putting
moving
my
forward,
glasses
guys.
on right now, Jindo. Putting my glasses on.
Yes, we have been working hard, guys. Things are moving forward. If you are in the C4PCR chat, some of you have been linking me with tasks, and I have been doing my best to accommodate everything. Xcode and Arades and others are also working relentlessly, trying to bring everything, make the game the best possible. And the good news is that we are basically out of bugs. Like, not basically totally out of bugs, but bugs that makes the game bad or unplayable. Of course, we have a design UI UX pass in the upcoming phase 3, and maybe there is some silly things that we might have overlooked, but overall, we are winning. We are winning. The game is a lot better now. We can loot, we can work, fight, do a bunch of stuff. Some things are still on prod, so we are still fixing those. But overall, I am personally thinking that we are in a very good spot right now compared to when we launched it, the PTR. I would love to hear your guys' feedback on this. If you guys are feeling the game is looking better now, if you guys think that there are still too many bugs and we need to do more bug fixing overall feedback on your experience in the C4PTR, please post it in the chat. Tell me how you are feeling about everything going on in the C4PTR. But the idea is that we'll soon wrap up this phase more dedicated to bug fixing, like heavy bug fixing, and then we start moving to the cool stuff, like the player's journeys through pretty much every single gameplay loop of Star Atlas. And Xcode here actually developed something very cool that allows us to test those user journeys, see where the problems are, see where we should rebalance stuff, where there are gaps in the game design, in the feature design, etc. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah.
right, John? If you want to
Yeah. Did you?
expand on that.
Yeah, for sure. So, my background before I joined Star Atlas, years before, I used to do automated testing for a company that did like in vehicle analytics. And so we had cameras and sensors in trucking fleets, and it was my job to automate all the testing and make sure that a human being didn't have to sit there and test every sensor in every camera that we made. And so I would build these little robots that pretended they were cars, and they would move the cameras around, and then we would we'd take all that stuff. So anyway, I just tried to apply this idea to our end-to-end testing system, which is that each night, every user journey that we could possibly think of is tested and gets a green check mark. And if that means creating a new user and forming fleets with that user and sending them somewhere and planting a claim stake, then that's what we're going to do. So that's all automated now. We've divided every core game system into these columns, and in each column is all the user journeys that you could possibly take for that game loop. And one by one, we're systematically writing end-to-end, like automated end-to-end tests for them. And that allows us to offload the time we'd be testing to doing other things. And we can just at a glance see every user journey. And so it does two things. It lets us document all the game loops. And then we can read the documentation and say, oh, there's a piece missing here. Like, I don't know. I'll give an example. Like, we all know that transport is a career, or that like repair or rescue, these are careers that we want, and we all know that. And we know that building fleets and all of the universe that we built is sort of laying the foundation for other careers. But we don't have those things we don't have those things like fully fleshed out yet. And so if we want to add them, we now start with these user journeys. Like as a user, I want to be able to repair my damaged fleet. As a user, I want to be able to repair someone else's damaged fleet. And as a user, I want a repair ship that specializes in this kind of repair. Those types of things. And as you write all those out, you create the game systems that support them, and then you document it all, and then you add these end-to-end tests. So we're doing that now with the existing systems and uncovering pieces where we know that there's a thing that doesn't feel right because it's not well documented. We know that the claim stakes process isn't really well fleshed out yet, and now that we have all these user journeys, we can see the gaps in how you get to them. We can start building the missing pieces. So, yeah, that's what I've been working on the last 2 weeks, and I'm about to hand off this system that we've built to the other devs so that they can pick up a piece that they're working on and create the end-to-end tests for it. Yeah, I know this is pretty techy, geeky stuff, but really important when it comes to maintaining functionality through big updates. So as we start adding new stuff to C4, knowing that all the old stuff still works is important, and having these tests running automatically in the background is important. So, yeah, so that's what we've been up to.
Yep. And that's going to be the chunk of phase 3 work. Getting all those player journeys fully scoped out, line it up, fully functional.
Pseudo makes a good point, right? And we talked about this yesterday in our meeting, that repairing other ships has been disabled since phase 1. So, and it's a great point, because repairing ships was built as an instruction. It is an instruction in the code right now, but you can repair enemy ships as well, because it was never defined whether or not an enemy ship is repairable or whether your ship is repairable. And so we were just discussing why it was disabled yesterday, and it was because it could be exploited, and that you could be at a battle with Mud versus Ooster, and the Mud ships could secretly be repairing the Ooster ships, sort of thing. And if you trace the code all the way back to the inception, it was just never defined that it had to be a friendly ship or not. And in real life, you can go and repair your enemy's stuff if you want, if they'll let you. So we have to be cautious, careful about how these instructions that we built play out. That's why it was disabled. So yeah, we're going to come back to repair. We're going to put a little bit better guardrails on it so that you can only repair friendly fleets, not enemy fleets as well. And that will get reintroduced along with the repair, the rest of the repair instructions that come about through that. So it was funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah. That's the thing. We need to bridge the distance between instructions to user journeys and gameplay loops. That's the main objective of phase 3. So there's going to be a lot of work there, but work of a different nature, because most of the instructions, they are there. What we need to do now is fill in the blanks, get the game systems working in harmony, and pretty much make you guys have fun while doing everything that you guys are doing in Star Atlas. So I think phase 3 is going to be a lot cooler for everyone involved. We'll need to do a wipe. I know you guys are attached to your ships, to your fleets, but by the very nature of what we are going to do in phase 3, we need you guys to actually progress to the system, see how things move forward, if the XP milestones, progression milestones are, good or relevant, if we need to tweak. So that's basically it. We'll work together as we have been doing in the PTR, but instead of bug fixing, you guys are going to try to break the meta, figure out the meta, uh, and balance stuff together with us. And even though this is an ongoing process, we'll never be done balancing and creating stuff for Star Atlas. We can what we want to do together with you guys is establish a core, strong foundation that we can use to go to mainnet. I think that's basically the phase 3 objective, John, right? And I am super excited. We are going very soon. Move to over there. We still need to. Yes, level X.
Mhm.
The grind time is back, but there will be some surprises. We are working on stuff that will make. I think phase 3 is going to be a lot more exciting than phase 2 overall, especially because the focus is making the game cool. So the game should be cool and get cooler every step of the way.
Mhm.
Anything else, John, to add on this topic, or I can invite our mysterious guest?
Yeah, no, Jindo here, he brought up a good point, which was what I was thinking was like, how's the tutorial coming, the single player journey, and from what I've seen of it, it's beautiful. There's a really Danny's taken a lot of like time to create some really neat cutscenes, like small cinematics to guide you through it, but the purpose and the purpose of the single player campaign is to both get you introduced to the lore, but also show you the mechanics. And then we were talking about it yesterday. And with these lore and mechanics and cinematics, you end up in a place where you know how to get the game running. You're in phase 3. You'll be given this starter bundle that's more tailored. You're still going to have a variety of items, but you won't have such a wide range, and you'll have to move through the council rank system again to use these new items. But you won't be like left to your own devices to figure things out because you'll have gone through the single player campaign. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see that in play. And then, as Jose mentioned, like phase 3 is about balancing balancing onboarding and balancing progression. And you've already seen a sneak peek of phase 4. Currently, you can import your mainnet assets using the special starter bundle, and so that's something coming for a later phase. But we wanted to test that it worked, and so you can actually try that now. If you go into your settings, you can take a snapshot of your mainnet assets and bring them in with the premium starter bundle. That option won't exist for phase 3. We're going to remove that. And we'll go back to the tutorial and onboarding in a small package. And then I believe phase 4 is when we'll actually let people on board with just whatever's in their mainnet wallet. There won't be this idea of a broad starter bundle, because hopefully by then all the onboarding and new user gameplay makes sense. You'll be able to choose some kind of user experience based on what you want to do. If you want to be a miner, you'll be focused on bringing in mining assets. If you want to be a fighter, you'll bring in your fighter assets. If you're like me and you just have tons of everything, then you get to pick and choose what you want to do. But yeah, that's how it's looking right now.
Very well. Any questions, guys, before we move on?
Phantom integrated soon. No, can you not just put in your public key, or did it need to be a wallet because you had to sign for it? I guess it needed a thing. Yeah, let me look at adding Phantom. I bet it's not hard at all. So let me look. Most of your moving to backpack. Okay, well, let me look and see what adding the Solana wallet adapter would take, and we'll look at that. I don't think that there's a technical reason why you can't use those other wallets.
Mhm. Very well, very well. If no one has any other questions about C4, I would like to introduce our guest of the day, a legend of this community, Mr. Funcracker. Are you around?
I
GM,
certainly
GM,
am. GM, gentlemen.
how are you
Good to
doing,
be
Ronald?
here. Ooh, I'm doing well. Quite busy at the moment.
I can imagine.
have to, yeah, I mean, the preparations for C4 with Anavia are go hand in hand with preparations here personally for the twins that we're expecting in a couple of weeks. It's very, very soon now. So yeah, it's busy.
Man, it's such a special moment. Doubles in the chat for Ronald and his twins.
Two W's,
Everyone.
two W's.
Two W's. Yes, very true.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, compliments to you guys. I really love what's happening with SAGE4. I mean, there's of course always something we can point at and say, hey, this can be improved. But I also want to recognize the tons of improvements you guys have already brought into the game. So very happy to see that and really love the progress.
Thank you. We appreciate it, Ronald. But you also have been cooking other stuff besides
Well,
IFU
so
stuff.
so it's not so much me, but as you all may know, since we've been talking about this for a few years now already, one of our members, Velkenen, has been working on a community created game since again way back in his off hours, weekends, nights. I know there's many games being created right now using AI. Um, and that goes pretty fast. But this is crafted the old-fashioned way by hand. Therefore, hopefully, also nice, stable, etc. It has less bells and whistles than Jindo's game, which of course I saw his presentation the last two times. It's but it is pretty cool and it is playable today. So I want to briefly let me see if I can share my screen. By the way, show you
Yeah,
all that. Cool.
man. Just a
So
quick,
yeah,
sorry, Ron, just a quick comment.
go ahead.
Discord has banned live transmissions in Brazil. So I can't even see that Ronald is sharing his screen. I can't open my camera. I can't see other people's cameras. So if you have things to point out during the stream, Xcode, John, I'll ask for
I'll,
your support on
I'll be your
talking
eyes,
to you.
Jose.
Yes, please.
Right now, I see a beautiful screen that says Cataclysm Battle for Iris on it.
Yeah, I opened
there's-
the link.
There's 3 playing cards, and they're hovering with a starry background. And
jeez.
there's an indicator at the bottom that suggests I need to scroll with my mouse to see the next slide in the view.
That was a
Nice.
very good description.
That's a very good description. Yes, I like it. You could go into more detail about the cards. No. Let's no, yeah, but exactly. I just opened the website that has gone live today. So what we're currently doing, we have been doing a few of internal tests, and we have been foreshadowing the open beta for a long time. It was actually supposed to go live months ago, but I say we, but mostly Valkonen tinkered on it quite a bit more. There is now built-in bug reporting, which is super handy because we also want the open beta, of course, to help us improve the game. So if you hit Control F1 in the game, you get a small box where you can type in what's happening. But your logs are and some screenshots are being sent as part of that bundle as well, helping Valkonen to properly debug. And yeah, many more things. There's versioning in there, so if a new version comes out, we can now properly tell you that you need to download a new game, and all kind of like sort of additional things that make sense in a multiplayer game. So yeah, pretty cool. So this website, indeed, open beta. Open beta is for all of you. You can just scroll over the website. There's a bit of a story, some pointers, what's happening, some actual rules of engagement. And then at the bottom, there's the instructions, what to do. I already copied the Discord link into the Discord chat here as well. This is a special link because this link automatically gives you the beta role. Hey, why is my stream? Oh, my stream crashed. That's super weird. Never
His
had that
screen
before.
has gone black, Jose. There's nothing here.
Yeah. Let me try again. I think my system is low on resources, so it's going to be super fun when I'm going to try and play the game in a bit. But we'll see. Anyways, instructions. Click the Discord link. When you are there, in the general chat, hit or type /download. You'll get a personal key and a personal download link that you can click. That will send you to itch.io, which is the more indie game platform that we're currently using for the distribution of the game. You will see instructions in there. One very important instruction, you may remember this from last year, I think, almost, when you were playing a game against Beyond the Horizon. Still, at this point in time, the game is unsigned, which means that Windows by default will complain about it being unsigned and potentially dangerous. And yeah, that's just because in order to get rid of that, we have to pay money to somebody. And I think we have to do it every year, which we can do, but the game is for free. We have been working on it for free. And we, of course, are spending some money for the hosting and the website and the tools, but we prefer to not just be overly spending money for the heck of it. So you will have to click through that in order to be able to play the game. Then you'll log in with your Discord account. And then you can choose to play against AI, which you can do whenever you want, or against a person, which does require, basically in a Star Atlas fashion, that there's, of course, somebody to play against, which means coordination on the Discord server is very practical in order to make sure that's happening with the small group of people we currently have. But let me, instead of sharing the website, actually show you. So let me share a different screen. And let's see how that will go. First time I'm trying this. There's a good chance it will break. But I'm actually streaming Windows to my Mac and now sharing my streamed Windows and now jumping inside of that. Can everybody still hear me? Because it's very silent.
This is a double violation of Brazilian law.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Actually, I think if you stream to a computer that's outside of Brazil, it becomes legal again, doesn't it?
Interesting. Thanks, Erder, also for the confirmation. Yeah, so let me just jump into this thing here. So when you click the download link, you will get to this specific page that allows you to actually download. And then has instructions that basically tells you it's a zip that you're downloading, you have to extract it. It is, well, basically telling you about the Windows security warning you're going to get. And you may also, actually, I forgot about this because I don't have this on the first prompt. You'll probably ask for network access because you have to log in with Discord. There's also multiplayer features. We need network access, else you can't really play the game. So, without further ado, this is what the unpacked zip will look like. There's a Cataclysm executable. You can click it. And let's see if I can play a quick AI game while showing a little bit of what's happening here. I don't think you have sound, or perhaps you do, or perhaps you have a little bit of sound, but bear with me because the sound is a bit stuttering because of all the stream things going on. So, single player, multiplayer, again, as said, we'll choose single player here. Single player is really meant for just exploring the game and doing some beginner training. AI is not super smart. Sometimes it does appear they're super smart, but that's random. But still, it's a nice. I think it's a nice way to just experience the game and check things out. So the game is played over 3 rounds. It's very much like Gwent. For those of you who have ever played Gwent, either in the Witcher game or on the iPad or even physical. For those who were at Breakpoint, Impact, I should say, 2 years ago, I had a physical copy or physical version of this game with me. It's mostly still the same. Of course, we have some balance changes and tweaks, but it's over 3 rounds. You draw your first hand of 7 cards, and you can place up to 3. You can discard up to 3 cards, which will allow you to draw 3 new ones. So, for example, I'm not even sure what I have here, but what shall we? Let's just, I don't know, just discard this great card, and you'll see I'll get a new card in exchange. Every card has points. Every card can be deployed to one of 4 zones or multiple. And if there's no zone, that means it's an event. And it's a one-time effect. It'll be right away discarded after it's played out. And it's basically about having the most points at the end of the round to win the round. You can pass at any point in time, which will basically stop the game for you. But the other person, your opponent, can just keep on playing until they also want to pass. And that's kind of important because you will not draw cards up until the round is done. After the round is done, the new round will start. You will draw 2 new cards. You can again discard up to 3, but you will only get a super limited amount of cards, 2. And the same will happen in round 3, which means you have to really be careful about playing your cards. You don't want to play your entire hand in the first round because that means you only have 2 cards for the next one. So let's just, and I'm not even really going to pay attention what I'm doing here. Just showing you, so you can see the icon on the card shows you where to play it. The front line is at the very start. Okay, so it's interesting. Play the card that allows them to place an asteroid, simply blocking a space for me. So all the cards, of course, are inspired by Star Atlas. We have taken some liberty with some of the sizes and some of the effects, but in general, we're trying to keep it sort of in theme and what you would expect. There's a timer here, so if I don't hurry up, I will auto pass, and it will go for both players. There's also some cards that I can play at the opposite side, which give them points, but allows me to draw a card. So this actually lets me remove the asteroid, but I'm going to take this one. And yeah, so most cards have at least points. Most cards are ships. Some have effects, like this one, deployed next to another Odica. It will double the power, so it will go from 3 to 6. Again, this one had a deployed asteroid. This one was my card. It allowed me to draw 2 cards and keep 1 in my hand. This one did absolutely nothing. So if I would play this card, destroy the strongest medium small ships on the opponent's front line, which I will do now, then evidently the Odica was the strongest. Now it's destroyed. So now I have more points. Okay, they're playing a discard card to draw cards, and let's see what they get. Oh, okay, they destroy my ship. So let's say at some point, I'm not ahead. Let's at least play. Let's just play, for example, this card, which will destroy the card opposite of it. So sometimes placement is important. It really depends. That was a very stupid play, which you can see it's AI. Let me just pass here. Also not going to play the entire game per se. Now they have the opportunity to just continue, which of course will probably allow them to indeed win. I also now passed, did 6 versus 5. This is still a placeholder, but they won the first round. So now we go to round 2. Got more cards, can again discard up to 3. And this basically goes on and on. I'll just keep them as is. So I have more cards than they do because they played more cards. You can see there's 3 cards left. I have 6 cards left. So it's very easy for me to, you would assume win the second round, but if I do, then of course there'll be a third round. Oh, and this is a very good card he's playing, which allows them to actually draw 2 additional Busan Thrill of Lives from the deck. So that's right away 3 ships and 12 points. I'll just quickly play some cards. Let's see if I can still win. So this destroys. So if all the ships have the same strength and it's destroying the strongest one, it will destroy all of the same ships. So it can be quite powerful to play that card. Well, I have a lot of. Let's just pass and see. They have one card left, so yeah, they can't play it probably. So now I win this round, which basically means there will be a third round, and then there will be a winner. Which, yeah, I guess I'm not really going by. Let's see. I just play some cards. We'll see what happens, but don't want to take up all the time. So again, now I have a Bosom of Silver live. There's 3 in a deck. By the way, every player has the exact same deck. It's of course shuffled, so you get a different hand, but there's no way to change the cards just yet. We have plenty of ideas, or always had, to expand game modes. But yeah, let's first see if the core game is fun, and then we'll do that. What do I have? I'm not even paying attention, but just playing some more cards. Yep, that was not a very smart move. Well, I just pass. I think I should have enough points by now. So they actually played an industrial thing, which is quite cool because it's actually getting a point every turn. But yeah, they didn't have enough cards, so I won. Yay, me.
Good job, Ron.
So thank
Even though I
you.
didn't watch.
Nice.
Even though you couldn't see what I was doing here. Yep, fair. But yeah, that's basically it. And again, everybody can just right away jump into our Discord, get a download link, play the game. Let me stop. Suffering. All right. So most welcome to jump in, download the game. Again, I should probably make an announcement in the Discord over there, but there is already an older announcement that explains what needs to be done. Again, just /download will give you the link. Control F1 will help you debug and will basically help us improve the game. This game will be open. We'll have to double check. The initial idea was to the very 1st of September, or let's say the last day of August. We've started a little bit later than we planned, so it may be open one additional week, but we're only opening this up for a short time. After which I'll be very busy with my twins. Valkyren is going to be quite busy, and then we're opening it up later in the year again for a second, and perhaps let's see longer open beta period. But yeah, we would love for people to just help us improve the game, and just just give us ideas, give us your bugs, give us your opinion on the game, if you like it or not. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
I posted it in the chat again, so everyone, please
Yes,
go
very much.
go join the Discord, go test the game, go help Valking, Funcracker. Every piece of feedback, everything that you guys can do to support a Staratus project is hugely appreciated. And doubles in the chat, everyone, because it's surely a lot of work to create a game, especially the artisanal way that Valken is taking this. We really appreciate it, all the hard work, all the dedication.
Yeah, appreciate it. Let me. I see actually a couple of questions. So Bohemian, no, there is no SHA-256 signature for the zip file. We could perhaps do that. I mean, but we are. Yeah. Well, let's see. We are distributing through itch.io. I'm not sure. Perhaps they have something that can help with that. And once released, will players win anything? Well, we do want to host a tournament. Actually, way back in the day, we were talking with Santi about doing a tournament for everybody here with some sponsor prizes. Let's see what we can still accomplish in the current state of things. But I would definitely love to do that, and we can also do that because we already get some metrics, so we would be able to very easily create the leaderboard, which is actually on my list to do. So you can see, the amount of wins of people and losses, etc. So yeah, we're definitely we're going to expand on this for sure.
Awesome. That would be super cool. I'd love to see a community tournament on the Staratus trading card games. Awesome. Anyone has any other questions for Valking or Funcracker?
Everybody's
Nicely
dazzled.
done. Nicely
Cool.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Exactly.
Thanks, John. All right.
All
Well, I
all
guess
right.
I'll leave you to it then. So, but thanks for giving me some time to share this with everybody.
Always a pleasure, Ronald. And we will all be here cheering for you guys on all your endeavors, the twins, the AFIA, your work. We really appreciate every effort you guys put in this Stratas ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Awesome. You're welcome. And yeah, we have more coming soon. So stay tuned.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. See ya.
Sayonara.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, I see people cooking, John. You know?
Mm-hmm. It's a good
I
sign.
mean, it's a good sign. I mean, we are here working every day, and now more and more people are joining the builders in the Stratos ecosystem. It surely lifts up my spirit for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have some more. This is a good segue. We didn't even talk about this. I have some. So we have the Star Atlas cookbook, which is it was meant to be a way to get your feet wet with Sage Starbase, where you could run some simple programs and get familiar with how to access blockchain data. I'm adding to the cookbook some instructions for C4 and specifically for interacting with Zinc and deploying programs on Zinc. And so what I'm finding is that a lot of people want to use the blockchain as a data layer, and we want to encourage that on Zinc and have organic growth, and we want to especially encourage that in the Star Atlas community. So I'm going to be publishing some recipes for deploying programs to Zinc and for reading and writing data to the blockchain. Everything there works on Solana as well as on Zinc. It's all like backward compatible because the two networks are so similar. And anyone who's participating in the PTR and who's being airdropped these Zinc tokens, which is essentially Sol, on our network, you can take some of that Sol and you can deploy your own programs with it. Like, I just want people to understand, like, it's as if you have a whole bunch of our network's tokens right now, and you can experiment with it. And so if you want to open your AI and say, hey, here's a Solana SVM clone, and I've always wanted to write the back end of this program somewhere, but I could never afford to do it on Solana. Let's use this testnet, right? That's possible. You can do that. So, yeah. I just want to start connecting those dots for our community, especially while we're in PTR and we have this opportunity to do that. And as you guys start building your own tools or your own programs that interact in the
Yep.
Star Atlas world, you'll have the tools to do it through that cookbook and through the tokens.
This
Yeah.
this is actually super important. I mean, we will have an entire blockchain dedicated, I mean, at least built for our ecosystem to exist on. So we need to leverage all the talent, all the vision, everything that we can from us, the team, but also from the community. So you guys, if you have an idea of a product that not necessarily is linked to Star Atlas, or maybe it is, but that wants to live on Zinc, you should surely reach out to us and we'll do whatever we can to support you. I have been receiving DMs from many community members looking forward to build stuff on Zinc. Some of them are actually scheduled to come to the brew later in the month. I won't spoil anyone, but I'm really looking forward uh, to see what everyone is doing. But if you have an idea, something, a program, something that you'd like to deploy on Zinc, please reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to accommodate you to do whatever we can to support you on building the Zinc ecosystem, on building the Star Atlas ecosystem. please reach out. We're looking forward to talking with you about that. And John, is this something that you are going to publish in the future?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, so the cookbook repo is public. It's one of our public repos on our GitHub page.
nice.
So I'm adding to it a section for Zinc. And so I'm thinking of it like a book that gets new chapters written to it, and Zinc is a new chapter. And so you go to the Zinc chapter and you look at the recipes. Actually, I can talk a little bit about them. They're not published yet, but I can look them up and just give you an idea of what kind of stuff we're doing on.
Yeah, and
On
while
Zinc.
you look out for that, NDR is really, really intent on me fixing the system names before phase 3. NDR, I'll tell you this. If I do any work on fixing those right now, Michael Wagner will come and fire me personally.
What's wrong with the system names?
It's messed. Like
okay. There were some bugs
Like-
in the names. I just pushed a PR, and I'm wondering if he's talking about the fixes I
No,
just
no,
pushed,
no,
or if
no,
there's something else
no,
going
no.
on. Okay.
That's older. Maybe the fix that you push it will straighten things forward.
I don't know.
Like
Go take a look.
yeah, NDR. It's like the name of the systems like is not the same names as the position in Starbase. Something like this.
I did not change any of that.
Yeah.
No, I just changed the headers because it used to say the region number faction, whether it was a core or a king system,
Mhm.
and then it had like a planet designation or system designation. So that information is now back in the view. Instead of all of them saying mud territory, they now give the region and core value. And then below that, there's the system name, and that's a little bit more bold now, so it's easier to read. And then I fixed the Starbase level pips, the little circles that show you what Starbase level it is. So now that those are fixed, you should at a glance be able to see what it all is. But I didn't realize the systems were still not picking
Yeah.
up the right location.
Yeah, I was working on this and I had to stop midway. And I think when we introduced new systems to the C4 client, everything got a little messed up, but it's fine. Eventually, I'll come back to this NDR. But as I said, Michael Wagner is watching everything that I do right now. And if I go focus my attention on fixing system names right now, he'll kill me.
You know, I don't know. If we fix those names, he might give you a promotion.
A promotion to a penguin that's free to work somewhere else.
Oh no.
I'll be promoted to free.
Freelance penguin.
Exactly.
Okay, so I loaded up the cookbook stuff. So we're gonna do Wallet Connect, game information systems that you can read, star systems. You'll be able to pull from code. You'll be able to pull a list of all the star systems. You'll be able to get a list of all the fleets that are in C4. And sorry, in the repository, it's Sage game, Sage star system, Sage fleet. Like internally, we are starting to call C4 Sage, like just plain Sage, because that is what it represents. Like it's the fully functioning game that we've been trying to build. It's not like star based or whatever. So when you see like it'll be listed under examples Zinc, and then it'll have Sage designations in front of everything. But yeah, you'll be able to see faction ownership. You'll be able to see all the NPC fleets and where they are and what their stats are, just in code. So I think it'll be really helpful. And what it will really do is you'll be able to give your AI this repo and it'll have all of its questions answered about how to deploy programs on Zinc, how to read data from Zinc, how to write using the RPC that we have set up. And you don't have to do any of that discovery work. And new players won't have to do any of that discovery work if they want to build their own Star Atlas stuff. So it will, at the very least, it'll save them, $100 in tokens that they had burned through trying to figure it all out on their own, kind of thing. So
That's awesome. Any questions, everyone? Arthur is asking about the name of the new game. We have
it's
Sage
gonna
Lab,
be
Sage Starbased, Sage
Yeah.
Penguin.
it's gonna be Sage Penguin, Penguin X with a dash X. Yeah.
Penguin X. X
no.
Penguin.
Uh,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And talking about penguins, I have the code for today. Code for today is no rest for the penguins.
It's a long one.
We are all penguins. Are you suggesting that I abused my power to create this code, Jindo? NTR is asking about if we can copy and paste images for the bug reporting. Do you have any insights on that, John?
Yeah, I don't have anything off the top of my head. I will talk to Arthur about it and see what's going on there.
Awesome. All right, everyone. I think we can close today's episode. Thank you, everyone, for being here with us today. Thank you, Funcracker, for the updates on Cataclysm, the battle for Iris. Thank you, Emperor, for the updates on the Council. And thank you guys for playing our PTR and helping us with the development of Star Atlas. We'll keep doing our best to work hard and deliver the game and experience that you guys are looking forward to. I hope you all have a great week, and we'll keep chatting on the C4 PTR channel. Have a good week. Bye bye, everyone. See ya.
Thanks, everyone. See you.